The creation of folk art begins in nature, and for many cultures around the world, the two are inextricably connected. One cannot exist without the other. Raw materials are grown, found, gathered, and harvested, and then taken to homes, studios, or ateliers. Then begins the long transition into textiles, jewelry, sculptures, and countless other works of art that hold a sense of place, tradition, genius, and time. The maker hardly ever works alone. Countless hands and lives touch the work as it moves from raw material to completion. Generations of skill and technique are applied with equal amounts of tradition and innovation. Both the past and the present are at play here, making time an essential ingredient in folk art. For 17 years, the International Folk Art Market has provided a platform for artists from around the world to gather, exchange ideas, sell their art, and most important, successfully enter into the global marketplace. What was born out of Santa Fe as a small grassroots organization focused on one weekend a year has now grown into a nonprofit empowering folk artists year-round.
I'm Stuart Ashman, and I have the honor of being the Chief Executive Officer of the International Folk Art Market. I want to welcome you to a very exciting event today, which is the virtual online gala and auction. The International Folk Art Market has served over 1,000 artists from 100 countries over the last 17 years, allowing them to take $30 million in profits home, and this has allowed them to build schools, drill wells, improve their homes, and overall their quality of life. Now, as its CEO, I can boast about all of the achievements of the International Folk Art Market, including business skills training for our artists through our Mentor to Market program, our year-round pop-ups, our Folk Art Matters, lectures by experts, and our community of over 2,000 volunteers. I want to once again welcome you to the virtual auction and encourage you to bid generously. When you help IFAM, you in turn help the artists around the world. I want to thank our business sponsors, our incredible board of directors, and the generous donors of their collections to tonight's auction. Thank you, and don't forget to bid.
Hello, I'm Deborah Garcia y Griego. I have the honor of being the Cabinet Secretary for the New Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs. I'm here in the Museum of International Folk Art on Museum Hill, home to the International Folk Art Market. The Folk Art Market has become an economic driver, generating more than $12 million a year for Santa Fe and the state of New Mexico. The Department of Cultural Affairs is proud of our partnership with the market, and while the Hill will be a little bit quieter this year, the work of the market is more important than ever, bringing people together from different religious and cultural backgrounds to listen, to learn, and to grow in an understanding that we are one world. Please enjoy the One World Gala and auction, and we look forward to welcoming you back to the Hill in person next year for the International Folk Art Market 2021. Have a good evening and be well.
Here's some things you need to know about the folk art market because it is an important and really iconic part of Santa Fe. It's a social entrepreneurial undertaking of the highest order. It has brought amazing art and culture and beautiful work to Santa Fe, and at the same time, it has helped people from all over the world take money back to their communities and their villages and made a massive, huge, positive difference across the world. But also, there's reputational capital. People know that there's no place in the world that this folk art market could take place except right here in Santa Fe with the people who volunteer, the people who put it on, the gracious people who shop and make it such an amazing success year after year. Let's make the virtual folk art market a real success for the artists and for Santa Fe.
I love volunteering for a variety of reasons. I initially did it because I wanted to just be part of something that was big. But over the years, I've gotten to know some of the staff. I've gotten to know other volunteers, and it's something we do. It's kind of like coming to our own homegrown rally. It's a way that we give support to the artists who toil all year round at their craft. For people who are considering being volunteers who've not yet done it, it gives you a community to be a part of. It gives you close access to the artists themselves. It's an immediate connection to people from all over the world. In these times, it also allows us to extend our reach of goodwill around the world.
I believe that business can and should be a force for social good. I also believe that trade is better than aid, and that is what has drawn me to this organization. We don't give out handouts. Instead, we provide artists with business development training to help them improve their livelihoods. My deepest pleasure has been to witness the growth and success of the many artists that we have mentored over the years. And my deepest desire is that we will continue to serve as a stepping stone for economic and social prosperity for folk artists around the world.
These are some of the ways IFAM shares the stories of folk artists with the world. The leadership roles they assume in developing economies. Women empowering themselves through their own businesses and art cooperatives. Folk artists working with natural materials and responsible processes, setting an example of environmental sustainability. Maintaining and nurturing cultural traditions that are often in danger of disappearing. The magic of the international folk art market begins with the ability to connect and meet with artists directly. Here are some important voices from our IFAM family in their home communities.
A couple of decades ago, me and my father, Mr. Dwaraknath Reddy, set out to Srikalahasti, a temple town in Andhra Pradesh, at the behest of an aging artist who had met us trying to sell his masterpieces in Bangalore. And through him, we learnt about the poverty in that area. And when we went there, we knew that we were in a region that was very rich in skills, in tradition, and in the heritage art form of hand-painted kalamkari. But there was still so much poverty, there was so much deprivation. I knew that we could do something if we collectivized the women especially, brought communities to understand about the wealth of that region in that sense, and what was inherently there, and an innate ability to be able to tap into to change their lives. And that was the beginning of the birth of Dwaraka. Today, 99% of Dwaraka are women who do everything. The entire process is owned by them. The ultimate impact and the result of what we have done is also owned by them. And therefore, that sense of ownership and self-reliance and identity is what really make a change. And this is what the Dwarka journey is all about.
The Maya women artists of Multicolores create innovative designs exploding with color and symbolism. Designs are inspired by the Maya cosmovision, the natural world, artists' personal stories, and the motifs and figures found in hand-woven Mayan garments. The folk art tradition of rug hooking originated in the United States, but the artists of Multicolores have perfected the technique using innovative materials.
Y es un trabajo que a mí me ha gustado porque ha mejorado mi vida, al igual me ha ayudado con mi familia, al igual que en mi comunidad. Hemos tenido personas que ellos nunca han podido tener un trabajo, siempre han estado en el hogar, pero esta vez ellos han tenido la oportunidad de conocer más personas y es por eso que nuestro corazón está en el arte, porque podemos expresarnos libremente, dando a conocer lo que nosotros sentimos al elaborar una alfombra. Tengo compañeras que nunca han tenido una experiencia con otras mujeres, no han conocido lugares, no han tenido lo que ellos han querido, pero este trabajo nos ha ayudado de muchas maneras. Es un trabajo muy bonito porque nos representa como mujer guatemalteca.
My name is Gala. I'm one of the co-founders of Hoptuk. We found this project almost 20 years ago with the objective to empower women through their traditional skill and promote Lao textile and craft across the globe. For many women in Laos, weaving is only something they will do in their free time. But for our goal is to find a way to make weaving a sustainable source of income for as many women as possible. And we are committed to everybody's well-being and that everyone had an opportunity for professional and social development. We are committed to take care of the environment, honoring and respecting tradition, paying good wage, including benefit, health insurance, pay leave, profit sharing, and cultivating local and international markets. We started with only 5 weavers and has grown to working with more than 500 artisans throughout Laos.
Kiaku, Yusturi Yamama, Ne Selone Menetitewa. My name is Silao Valadez. I'm part of the Valadez family who specializes in the yarn paintings. We come from the Huixarica tradition, which is one of the only tribes in central west of Mexico that were not influenced or conquered by the Spaniards, keeping alive many of our traditions, and one of those being the yarn paintings, which is our family's legacy. Our paintings are the visual stories and manifestations of our songs during ceremony. At the same time, they also represent the heritage, but also the oral history that we've been able to keep alive through generations. As artists, we're modern transcribers of our oral history, and at the same time, we provide the message from our community to the world out here, which is that direct connection that we have towards nature, earth, the universe, and spirit as well. So the history that we depict in our yarn paintings dates back from at least 8,000 years ago. So this is definitely one of the best ways to preserve our culture.
City Designs collaborate with Maasai women in Tanzania, East Africa to create time-honored beadwork with a modern aesthetic. By elevating traditional craftsmanship while preserving indigenous knowledge, our partnership with the women enable them to have access to sustainable employment. We believe that empowering Maasai women through providing employment enable them to have control over life decisions. Beyond providing a sustainable income, CD Design also partners with the local NGOs to facilitate workshops for the women on general health and wellness, child rearing, cattle health, HIV/AIDS prevention and care, women's health, and the legal issue around women's rights.
Your support of IFAM and our artist families goes much further than you know. It reaches around the globe to sustain artists. It takes root in communities. It nourishes efforts to obtain clean drinking water, to educate women, to address family health care. It helps our human family thrive.
Many of us have fallen in love with IFAM, its mission, its values, but most of all, its artists.
In this difficult time of uncertainty, it is ever more important that we support the mission of the International Folk Art Market.
One of the important roles of IFAM is to encourage entrepreneurship and self-sufficiency with those artists. The artists who come to Santa Fe are given a mentor to market program, which you might think of as being akin to an executive MBA program. It teaches them such things as marketing and quality control and gives them financial and accounting skills. IFAM is certainly an agent of entrepreneurship and self-sufficiency, and an important part of the economic self-sufficiency is to the women who constitute the majority of the folk artists. Catherine and I have seen the incredible impact that has resulted from the economic self-sufficiency of the women artists.
I understand how many demands there are on your resources because of the significant needs in our local communities, in the United States, and in the world. And yet I ask you, once again, to consider a gift that will support IFAM's mission. Any amount is valuable. Any amount is appreciated. Thank you so much.
Support the important work of the International Folk Art Market by donating today. Be a part of our mission to create economic opportunities for and with folk artists worldwide who celebrate and preserve folk art traditions. IFAM is proud to present Sony recording artist and 6-time Grammy Award-winning musician, the fabulous Leela Downs.
Tigunawin Buriakiku Shabisende Tigela Kayuna Tigunawin Shipurungaru Nushuna Shibigani Paka Sabisi Sibini Shipurungaru Nushuna Shibigani Paka Sabisi Sibini. Ay de mi llorona, llorona, llorona de azul celeste. Ay de mi, llorona, ay de mi llorona de azul celeste. Ayer maravilla fui, llorona, y ahora ni soy. Ayer maravilla fui, llorona, y ahora ni